Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Susan North Gilboa. I'm the director of the OurSpaceLA programs at Valley Beth Shalom. OurSpaceLA is where children, teens, and adults with special needs and unique abilities come to Valley Beth Shalom and participate in a spectrum of Jewish life experiences for them as well as for their family members. Throughout the year in our education programs and our social groups, we have a theme that runs through the year. So this year's theme is part of what I would like to share with you this morning as we set our Kavanah and coffee, which I just finished drinking. The theme that we were focused on this year was be the change that you want to see in the world. And the first part of the year, we actually focused on ourselves, what changes we can make for ourselves in day to day. And one of the first things that I talked with the staff about earlier in the year is we often have preconceived notions of who we are and what we are capable of accomplishing. Don't let your past define you. Don't let who you were yesterday limit who you can be today. What we know about ourselves is not complete. Be open to seeing different aspects of yourself, even if they are at first uncomfortable or unfamiliar to you. The second part of the year, we focused on ourselves and the other, people that we live with, people that we go to school with, that we work with, people that are kind of in our day-to-day lives on some level. And we discussed kindness. Deeds of kindness are equal in weight to all the commandments, was written in the Talmud. And the third part of the year, which we're dealing with right now, is Tikkun Olam. Tikkun Olam, now you and I can do our part to help repair what is broken in our world. First me, then you, and then everyone else can follow. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree and serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. That was Martin Luther King Jr. So one of the greatest intentions that you can set is to serve those around you. A common misconception about helping those around you is that you have to do something big or extravagant to make an impact. The truth is, every small act counts. So we've clearly been focusing this time of the year on each of us doing our part, Tikkun Olam, by sheltering at home, which isn't always the easiest thing for any of us to do. So although I also teach Israeli folk dance and love to teach hundreds of people at one time, and I do like to talk, these kind of presentations are a little bit strange for me. So I'm going to actually quote a couple of things and share some ideas based on those three parts that we were teaching this year for our theme. I'd like to focus on some things from a book called Good Life Practice, which was written by Dave Mokel. Dave Mokel is the founder of the Applied Attention Coaching and Consulting. He is an author and expert on the science and practice of mindfulness, well-being, leadership, and culture. And he actually came to speak to us in February at Valley Beth Shalom, and the title was Thriving in the Presence of Anxiety, Stress, Challenge, and Change. So I thought this would be really appropriate for us to kind of look through some of his writings to see how it could help each of us with the experiences that we're going through. And I'm also going to be quoting some things from the Institute of Jewish Spirituality because I was part of a cohort this year studying with them at AJU, among some other quotes and places that I have. So I'm going to begin with something from Dave's book, which is Being Human is Messy. Many of us look shiny on the outside and feel a bit scrambled on the inside. Sometimes we are lonely in a room full of people. Sometimes we feel dissatisfied even when we have everything we need. Sometimes we try to control situations that are completely beyond our influence. And sometimes we try to escape normal human feelings even though we know they will return. If you find that being human sometimes feels a bit much, if you're tired of feeling like CNN on the inside while trying to look like Facebook on the outside, if you'd like to find just a bit of grace and clarity, if you would like to be more present, purposeful, positive, and connected when the challenges of daily life arise, I hope that some of what I share in the next few minutes from Dave's book and other sources will help. So we begin with mindfulness. Everybody uses that language, but what is it really? Mindfulness begins with a commitment. You simply choose something to pay attention to. It is common practice to start with the sensations of your breath, but you can use the sensations of walking, eating, or just about anything else. You can also use an object or a sound. The reason the breath can be so useful is that you always have it with you. And this is where I'd like to add a little bit of who I am and what I love to do, is I use dance to focus on. Because dancing is the loftiest, the most moving, the most beautiful of the arts, because it is no mere translation of abstraction of life. It is life itself. The material for the dance is air, the movement is breath, and the source is love. So that's what I sometimes choose when I can't think of anything else that's making me feel good. I choose dance. But let's start with the breath, all of us together. So the first thing you do, you set this Kavanah, this intention, to make a gentle but persistent effort to pay attention first to the rising and falling of your breath. With the attention and focus. So sit in a chair or stand, feel your feet on the ground, feel your spine, and sit up so that you're kind of reaching the sky. Note your mind's tendency to slip into mindless, habitual thought patterns such as boredom, restlessness, sleepiness, grasping for stimulation, thinking, planning, remembering, etc. When you notice yourself falling into these habits, meet them with kindness and curiosity. See if you can remember your Kavanah, your breathing, your dancing, your walking, or listening to the birds outside. And remember it without judgment. Practice teshuvah, returning your attention to your breath. And feel anchored. And refocus. And breathe. Take in your surroundings. Feel your feet on the ground. Look at the scene around you. Feel the air on the or the sun on your face, or listen to the sounds around you. Marvel that you exist. The fact of your existence is nothing short of miraculous. That you can read the symbols on this page, that if you're reading a book, that you can breathe, and that you can experience love, pain, and joy. Bring your attention to the inconceivable miracle of existence. And feel gratitude. Bring to mind a person, relationship, experience, or opportunity for which you are deeply grateful and appreciative. Focus your attention on this and notice the sensations in your body as you think about those feelings of gratitude. A good life embraces the challenge and the miracle of being human. Life often does not show up in the way we want it to, and we all know that very much today. The choice to embrace this or fight against it has an enormous impact on the quality of our lives. We can learn to live wholeheartedly with the fact that life is both miraculous and challenging. So Dave Mokel speaks about the fundamentals. Mindful self-regulation strengthens 4 fundamental skills of unconditional well-being. The first one is presence, being with what is. Second one is purpose, focusing on what matters. Third one is cultivation, practicing what you seek. And the fourth is connection, being of service. What is this big deal about being present in the moment? For starters, the present is the only time when anything happens. The future and the past are concepts that do not exist in any real way. Life, in all its complicated, miraculous glory, is happening all around us all the time. Practicing presence allows us to live the one life we have a bit more fully. And then there's taking care of the other. You have a choice where you want to focus your attention. If you look for ways people are being kind and the opportunities to do the same, then you experience the world differently. You experience more connection and less isolation. There are tiny, thoughtful acts of goodness that people do for one another all the time. If you are looking for them, they are not hard to find at all. They are everywhere, right under your nose and around every corner. They're so common that we can easily overlook them. Before I end with 6 little stories with lots of meaning, I want to share something that our adults did, the adults that are part of the autistic spectrum of Jewish learning, had a Zoom meeting last Sunday, and the teachers asked them to take a large white piece of paper with a pencil and scribble, not to take their pencils up at all, but to make circles and to make all sorts of squiggly lines until they filled the whole paper. And they really created a lot of chaos, as was explained to them. And then the teacher said, pick it up, look at it, and find some things within the chaos. Find shapes that have meaning to you. Find something that you can make beautiful within that chaos. So there were people that found the shape of a fish or a bird or a tree or a leaf or animals or flowers. And then they were asked to take colorful pencils and color those things in. And by the end of their session, all of their chaos was filled with really beautiful images and colors and a good feeling. But there were moments where it was hard to find what they were looking for. And sometimes it is a little bit harder to find the beauty and the good within all the chaos, but it's there. You just have to look a little bit deeper. So the last part I want to share with you is 6 little stories with lots of meaning. Number 1, once all villagers decided to pray for rain. On the day of prayer, all the people gathered, but only one boy came with an umbrella. That is faith. Number 2, when you throw babies up in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That is trust. Number 3, every night we go to bed without any assurance of being alive the next morning, but still we set the alarms to wake up. That is hope. Number 4, we plan big things for tomorrow in spite of zero knowledge of the future. That is confidence. Number 5, we see the world suffering, but still we get married and have babies. That is love. And number 6, on an old man's t-shirt was written a sentence: I am not 80 years old. I am sweet 16 with 64 years of experience. That is attitude. So I wish for you to have a happy day, to live your life like these 6 stories with faith, trust, hope, confidence, love, and a little bit of attitude. Yom Tov, wishing you all the best. Stay healthy.